Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're talking about the 3 big mistakes that every photographer makes. And I know when I started, I definitely made a lot of these because I didn't know what I was doing, and I really wish that someone told me to pay attention to these things when I started. So that's what I'm doing for you today. So here we go. The 3 big mistakes I want to talk about today are making sure that you're paying attention to lighting, making sure that you're using the space you're in most effectively, and last but not least, making sure you have a flattering pose for your model, and that's if you are using a model, obviously. So, the first one is lighting. I'm going to show you guys a couple examples from a shoot that I did today and from the Casa Loma shoot that we did a little while ago, because I know that a lot of you guys really liked my photos, which is super nice. Thank you so much. I wanted to tell you guys a few of the things that I kept in mind when I was taking those photos. You really want to make sure that you're using the light in your location to its best ability to take a large variety of photos or just to take the best photo possible. In this example, you'll notice that Lucy is completely turned away from the light source. You can't see any of her face, which isn't super flattering. So just getting her to do something simple like turning towards the light source made a huge difference in this photo. Her entire face is lit, and it's just a much nicer photo because you can actually see her face. So another great tip is to just move around the light source and see, by playing with the different settings in your camera, what kind of different photo you can get. If it was a really bright day like today, you could use a silhouette, or you could do what I did and have your model just kind of look towards the light source. Classic Toronto, right? So the second big mistake I want to point out is not using your space in the most effective way. In particular, when I was doing the Casa Loma shoot with Chris and Lucy, you can go check out that video on Chris's channel. It's the 3 photographers, 1 space video. It's awesome. What I really kept in mind with this shoot is how to use the space in a different way than Chris and Lucy were doing, and find little corners and nooks that I really wanted to feature, and use the symmetry in the room, and use the windows, and use the ceiling, or maybe use the floor, whatever was really interesting about the room that I wanted to feature, because I noticed they were both kind of taking the same shot, and they were both getting really close up to Joelle and taking some standard kind of portrait things. I really think that if you're in a cool space, you should try your best to use the location you're in and be able to feature the cool architecture of the space. So you'll notice in the shoot that I did today with Lucy, here's a really nice, standard portrait of her. It's very pretty. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you can take a lot of photos like this. I could have taken this photo anywhere, but little would you know that this space actually can look like this too. So all I did was step back, I put on a water lens, and I actually had Lucy play with the location she was in and drape her leg over the side and point her toe and lean back on one of the pillars. So she became a part of it, and I actually got to feature the really cool symmetry of all of those pillars. So it turned into a really cool photo. And I did the same thing on the Casa Loma shoot too. All I did was try and find these little corners of symmetry, and I really like negative space. So I left a bunch of room above Joelle in this photo to showcase the windows and lots of light. Or here I have her leaning against a pillar, and it's a bit tighter, but the way that the back of the room gets a bit further away and curves added a lot of depth to the photo. And this shot in particular, it kind of half worked. I was trying to use the ceiling, so I was shooting up at Joelle to try and feature that aspect of the room. It was a bit challenging because I was quite low and to be able to capture the ceiling the way I wanted. I still think it turned out kind of cool. This leads into my third big mistake, is making sure that you have a flattering pose for your model. You'll notice in these couple photos, this one I took of Lucy and this one I took of Joelle, I'm shooting a little bit low, so I'm shooting right up at them, which isn't the most flattering thing, and when they're looking down at you and suddenly they have like 4 chins. So in order to avoid that, you can ask them to tip their head up a bit and look away, or look up. Looks natural, and it really elongates their neck and gets rid of those triple chins. Being aware of little things like that. Their posture, asking them to put their shoulders back, or making sure that their toes are pointed, that they don't look too closed off, and your model can open up their arms and spread them out and use the space that they're in. Because it could be really difficult for the people in your photo, if they're not professional models, to know how their pose translates into the camera. And for a lot of photographers starting off, it's just you and it's just a friend pretending to be your model. So you need to know what looks good so you can give a little bit of direction. That's really helpful, and giving it in a friendly, approachable way, and not like, hey, you look stupid, move your foot. So the last thing I want to say to you guys is don't put so much pressure on yourself right at the beginning to make every photo completely perfect. As you practice, you will get better, and it'll become second nature for you to be paying attention to these things and noticing these little mistakes along the way. So practice makes perfect. Don't be too hard on yourself. You will get there. I still make mistakes all the time. We all do. So don't worry about it. So those are my 3 big mistakes that every photographer makes. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm doing finger guns. Like and subscribe. Anyways, I will see you guys later.